everyone, I'm Loretta from Perfectly Pop Balloons and welcome back to part 3 of this series. Part 1 was the Lincoln wall, part 2 was this gorgeous sunshine, part 3 is going to be a rainbow, another one of my favourites. So what I have done is I have created, again, let's start with colours quickly. Sempertex, all the pastel colours. Everything we're using today is the Sempertex pastel matte range, pink, blue, and I have double stuffed this with the crystal clears that we use here. We use the smaller polka dots here, we're using the bigger polka dots on this one, and it's going to be just really fun and bring the whole theme together. I have blown the biggest one, the one that's going to go across the top, to 8-inch, and the second one 7-inch, and then we're going to go down in size from there. But if we start with the top row first, I will show you how to put it together. 260. That's all we need, a 260. We're going to pull the air out, so pinch the top, pull the air, as in previous videos. I think here at Amscan they like to call them ribbons, so that's what we'll call them, a 260 ribbon. We're going to take the very end, take your first duplicate, tie it around. You can do this on the floor or you can do it on a table. I actually much prefer being here in the studio doing it on a table rather than on my floor at home. It's so much nicer. I try and keep the big balloon at the top and the smaller balloon at the bottom, and then I just go in doing like zigzags, like cross, cross. So I take first one in, wrap around, up. Then I get my second one, and then I go in the opposite way that I just went in that way. Now I'm going to go the opposite way, wrap around once. On that first wrap around, I did go under the bottom balloon, but this time now we can just go one all the way up. Cross over, round the blue, cross over, round the blue. I do give it a little bit of a tug, because I want it to be tight, but I don't want it to be so tight that it distorts the shape of the rainbow. This rainbow is going to be a half rainbow, not a full. And we're going to use pink clouds, which is a bit different from the white. So we are going to be coming all the way up, like a half. It'll be about as big as me when we're done, but you can keep going. If you keep going, you're going to get that perfect arch shape, because it just starts arching as you go around. It does the job for you. You don't even have to create the shape. That's what I love about these. Wrap. Wrap. And you can see it's coming together. You can see that it's working. I'm just going to put this down for a second and just grab a few more of those balloons. Come back to your 260. You can see the way that I put the last one on was that, so I'm going to go in the opposite way. You can lay it down for this, wrap, and just keep going. Again, opposite way, wrap. When you get to this point, if you find it uncomfortable on the table, you can start to stand it up, because you can follow the shape. You can start on the table, then go to the floor, whatever you are comfortable with. And it's just so quick to build. Love a rainbow for this reason. Everything is sized perfectly. And look, it just keeps on going. I think there's some more on the floor, so I'm just going to grab them and we'll keep going. Just make sure you don't lose that 260 at the end there. So I'm pretty sure in this bit I've used 10 balloons, so 20 obviously altogether when you duplicate them up. So find the 260 again. I'm going to go back to the floor because I'm finding it easier to show you that way. Go back in. Go back in. I don't think I'm going to make the whole thing with one 260. I was hoping I could. Because what you don't want to do is put it too hard and pop a balloon. So what I'm going to do, annoyingly, because I've got 2 left, I'm going to tie that off with a net of the balloon and just grab another one. Grab another 260 turn it into a ribbon. Make sure that it doesn't fold. Keep it straight. I'm going to tie that on to my other 260. And tie it a couple of times because you don't want it to just come straight off as you pull it. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. So we could probably do a full rainbow with what's left there. In again. I'm going to give it a bit of a pull there because I felt like that was loose where I'd made a new 260. We want them all to touch, but what we don't want is them to be squashed like that, which I have done a few times. We don't want them squashed, we still want them nice and round but touching. So if they're all squashed, you know that you've done it too tight, because that can be easily done by pulling this too tight. You have to find the perfect tightness. So here we are, this is the outside of the rainbow. Let me bring it up here. I know I'm using it as a half rainbow, but I could bend it and just show you for the camera there that that's our first bit done. What you can do with this bit now at the end, just tie it off. And I would leave this bit on the end because we can use that to sew in the other layers without wasting it. Now it's time to put our second row on. So let me show you what I've done with this one. I wanted to use the spotty colours again, so we've double stuffed the polka dot with the pastel green, and then we have the pastel lilac. So remembering this was 8, this was 7, so this is now 6 and 5. And the next one's going to be 4 and 3. I've made it super simple to remember those sizes. You can go bigger, you can go smaller. I wouldn't go smaller than 3 on your bottom one. I really wouldn't. So if you start at 3 at your smallest, you can go up in sizes. You can go up by more than an inch between them if you wanted, but I think this is a really quick and easy way of doing it. Get your ribbon, which is your 260 with the air out of it. Actually, what side did I leave? This side I've actually left the 260 in, so we'll use that for that side. And then I'm going to tie one this side, and then I'm probably going to connect it in the middle as well. So on this one, I'm going to go around. I'm just tying it in, nothing fancy, just tying it around so I've got something to sew it in, like a needle and thread. Okay, so coming back to this side, how I like to look at it, if you can see on the camera, I want my green balloons to fit in the gaps of the blue. So you see the pink one fits nicely in between the blues. Now we want the green to fit in between that, and so forth. That's how we're going to make it work. Now we could keep going. Once you've lined this up, actually, you'll be able to tell. If you wanted, you can just keep going until they're all even, but I think it's a little bit impossible doing that, and it's also pointless because we're going to hide this whole area with clouds anyway. So we're going to do clouds here, and we're going to do clouds there. So as long as it's as even as possible, it's going to work. So let's needle and thread this. Let's take this 260. Make sure, can you hear that sort of twang as it goes in? That's what you want to hear because that's gone under the balloons. We do want to pull the tension on that. I'm going to go across 2 balloons on the lilac, and I'm going to come up in between them all under the blue, so it's all the way in. Hear it go underneath. I'm going to go across the blue, don't let go, across the blue by 2, and I'm going to come down I want to hear it go under those balloons. So it's all the way inside, nice and tight, and then I'm going to take a neck of the purple because I've run out of room now, and I'm going to tie that in like so. I'm going to tie that 3 times because I'm extra dramatic with my tying. Now, can you see how nice and tight that is? How everything fits together, but it's not squashing them? That is how I like my rainbow to be. I'm going to do exactly the same the other side. I've already tied that one on, haven't I? So I'm going to find that one. I'm going to repeat that process, but before I do that, I'm going to check that everything's fitting where I want it to fit first. So that one did need squidging along a little bit, which means I'm actually going to add a few more on, just 1 more, maybe 2 more on here, only because I know we're adding the clouds, but I do want it to kind of be in line with each other. So I'm going to add 2 more on there. I'm going to be fussy. So what I'm going to do with this one is, because I'm missing those ones there, I'm going to take it across 2 of the blue, down, hear the noise, ready? Ping under there, go across 2, up the noise. I'm going to come up this blue, across, and this time I'm going to tie it at the top. I don't think it needs tying very much in the middle there. We are now about to add our 4-inch and our 3-inch into the rest of the rainbow. The 4-inch is melon and this one is pastel yellow. We're going to do the same. We're going to use the ribbon. We're going to needle and thread it in. I'm going to start this side. Tie your ribbon to the end of your rainbow. Remembering the technique that I taught you before to look out for how this sits in between all of those lilac balloons, okay? I'm going to take this up and through the green again. I'm going to go down 2 balloons, come down the melon, making sure you're waiting for that noise. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. Come across, under 2, back up and tie it off. I'm going to go back up here, I'm not going to waste that, and then I'm going to tie it off at the end here. I'm going to repeat that step the other side, and if I have enough, I do end up coming over almost to the middle, but if we don't have enough, you can tie it again in the middle using the same method. If not, use the elastic band method that I mentioned earlier. Just making sure you're not pulling your rainbow out of shape when you do this as well. I'm going to come over this side now. Making sure that is fitting where I want it. Sometimes the last one you do is just the trickiest one to just line up, so be particular with this one. Yep, I am going to need to tie that in the middle. It's the tightest turn arch. Right, put that ribbon in here. We are now going to come back under, come through, wait for that noise that I told you about earlier, go under 3 this time. Let's go across as many as we can. Let's get that middle looking better. Come up, needle and thread it through. I'm going to come up here now so you can see. I actually think for you guys at home, do this on the floor. It's easier. So for purposes of the camera, I'm going to stay on this table, but do it on the floor. That's what I do when I'm at home. come under, hear that sort of noise that latex makes when it snaps under, pull it tight. This time I'm going to go across those blue ones, across the top, get it right in. Right in. This time I'm coming to this bit that doesn't look very good down there. We need to get that nice and tight. So under, hear the snapping sound, pull it down, put it down. Now I'm going to walk around again. When you're on the floor, you can really bend over the front of it. Bring it down, bring it down. Move them about, make sure you're happy with the position of them. That one in there, that one in there, that one in there, there. Pull that. And this time I'm going to connect it to a yellow neck, nice and tight. And then that is how I needle and thread all of those layers together, and then you can just have a play around with that. But there is our half rainbow. We're now going to add some gorgeous pink flowers on this end and this end. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial of this rainbow. We did add on some clouds. We used the same method as the needle and thread with the 260s, and we've also used 260s to attach it to the wall as well. However, you can use your own preferred method for that. There is no rules. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. Put it on another stand, glue it, tie it however you want. I've been Loretta from Perfectly Pop Balloons. Please follow me on Instagram, and there is a part 4 of this series where I'm going to make a premium bouquet.